Now it would be nice to look at how everything works with our character in the foreground. I usually put the actors in the Unreal Engine just for reference. I just want to see how well the tracking works for me and how the character works in the scene. But then I use After Effects for final compositing. In Unreal Engine, the thing called Composure is used for compositing. This allows us to combine the camera in Unreal Engine with the footage. Go to Plugins and search for Composure. Check it, restart it. After restarting, reopen the sequence and the level. Create a new folder in the content and call it, for example, Video. Insert a new image media source. Click on it and choose the path of your PNG sequence. Set the desired frame rate. I use 25 FPS, which is the TV standard in my country. Then create a new media texture. Insert a new media track into your sequence. Move the playhead position to the beginning of the animation and click on plus media. Select your image media source. Stretch the track over the entire length of the sequence. Right-click Properties for the media track and select the media texture. This adds video playback to your sequencer. We will stream this video on the texture, and then we will combine it with a virtual camera in Composure. Click on Window, Virtual Production, Composure. Right-click in Composure and click Create New Comp. Then click Empty Comp Shot. This created a new composition. Click Add Layer Element and Add Media Plate. Click on the composition. Add Layer Element. Add a CG layer. This created a composition with two layers. The media plate will be our foreground and the CG layer will be our virtual camera. Click on the composition and select your tracking camera and the target camera actor. Set up the camera that you want to use for the CG layer. Then click Media Plate and select your video texture in the menu Input, Inputs, Media Source. Now double-click on the material under your video texture and delete whatever is there. Drag the video texture into the material window. Connect RGB of the texture with emissive color and connect its alpha to opacity. Make sure that the material domain is set as post-process. Save the material. Create a new material and add texture sample parameter 2D into it. Rename to whatever, duplicate it and rename the second one to whatever. Add over and connect it like this. Change the material domain to post-process and connect over to emissive color. Save the material and close it. Now click on your composition and in the Details panel find Transform Compositing Passes. Add a new section. Click on the triangle and open the material below it. Drag your post-process material into this material slot. Set the media plate as the foreground and the CG element as a background. Done. The compositing works now, but I hate how terribly complex and demanding the compositing process is in Unreal Engine. I hope that in the future they will do something about it. Anyway, so now everything is working as it should. Our actor is in Unreal Engine level and it looks good. If we did alright, everything will move in sync and it will look like our real scene or character is actually standing on the virtual floor. If the actor or objects are sliding on the floor, we did something wrong. The most common problem is the wrong settings of the frame rate in one of the stages of the process. Source, all compositions in After Effects, the sequence in Unreal Engine, as well as the source video settings in Unreal, all this must have the same frame rate. Make sure it does. If the problem of sliding persists, it will probably be that we have somehow messed up the relative position of the camera and the ground plane. In that case, I recommend importing the Cineware project again and trying the whole process again. Here I adjusted the scene position once again. I cannot change his position in the image, but I can change the location of the environment in relation to him, if that makes sense. Here I have already found the final position. Now I'm going to adjust the focus of the camera. We want to ensure that the camera is always focused on the actor. As a result, when it gets closer, the camera keeps the actor in focus and the background gets slightly out of focus. But our actor isn't an object in the 3D space, so we cannot focus on it. I do it by inserting any object into the scene, for example a cube, roughly where my actor's head is, since we want to focus on that. Then I will go into the camera settings and change the focus method to tracking. I choose my object. The camera keeps focus on the cube that is roughly in the same position as the head, so the focus behaves as if we were focusing on the head. Using the aperture in the camera settings, we set the aperture to achieve the desired depth of field. You can see that now, if the camera moves closer to our actor, the background gets out of focus. This is what we want.